G'day there guys, it is DavidmyGrylls and I'm back with another video. I know it's been a long time, I'll explain that in another video, but I thought I'd do an update on the zone restrictions module, especially with the new Eden update. It's become extremely broken and there's a lot of issues with it now that have not been fixed, and it's extremely hard to use, and after about an hour of playing around I couldn't find a solution. So I've created a script that will essentially make it 3 times easier. It has the exact same effect, and you don't need the zone restriction module. First of all, I am going to quickly show you what the issue is and why you shouldn't use it. First of all, this inverse border effect no longer works. Essentially, if you set it to yes, it tells the whole module to turn off. If you set it to no, then it tells the module to not only turn on, but affect any player no matter where they are, whether they're inside or outside of the trigger. So that in itself is just terrible. So yeah, just don't use it. I'll give you a demonstration here of what it essentially does. You'll see that I had it set to no there, and with it set to no, even though I'm inside the trigger, it still says up there that I'm leaving the zone for some reason. And I did find they have added a cool effect where it'll spawn a mine, which after about 15 seconds will kill you. It'll move underneath me and it'll trigger it, and I'll die. But I have not found a single way, you'll just see now, it'll kill you, but I haven't found a single way for it to work so that it's only affecting you when you leave the trigger zone. So that is just a completely broken function, and I highly advise you don't use it because it's really broken. So what I've done is, over in another scenario here, I have created a custom version using several scripts. I'll go into the scripts and I'll show you what they all do, but I've essentially created this. All you need is a trigger and a unit. It's very simple to set up. Your unit doesn't need anything in it. The only thing that you need to do in the actual game is in here. All you have to do is set the activation to whatever unit your player will be as. So if they're a independent unit, then you need to set it to independent, but for this I'll be using blue for, to present, and it has to be on repeatable. That has to be on repeatable. And then over here, this is where it can start to get a little confusing. Essentially all this is doing is it's creating the same effect as the zone restriction module. These should actually be around the other way. I just before was playing with it, but what it'll actually look like is it'll look something a little more like this. If I just quickly delete that. So this might be a little easier to understand. So it's saying it's creating a variable called script, and then it's executing a script called leavezone.sqf. I'll show you what that script is in a second, and that's when the player enters the zone. And then if they are in that zone and they happen to leave before they get killed, it will run a deactivation script, which will run the cancel zone. This only runs a message. You don't actually need this. I'll show you why. And it also terminates our variable script. And if you remember up here, we set this piece of code to the variable script, and so it's terminating the variable script, meaning it ends it. If you want it to be an inverse border, so you don't want players leaving a zone, then just flip these two around, just put this code in here and this code in here. And I'll show you what that does now. So this is if you want it to be, you don't want your units leaving the area. Oh no, going into the area, sorry. I've marked it out with blue lights just so that you can see where it is. But as you'll see, if I go in, it gives me a warning, and I have 10 seconds to leave. If I do leave in time, it'll give me a you have returned to mission area, and I will not be killed. That's something that the zone restriction module was having a big issue with. So that's one thing that I've added. If you do stay in the area, what it does is it will run the code, it'll wait 10 seconds, and if the player has still not left the area after that 10 seconds, it spawns a bomb underneath the player, and it will kill them. So that's essentially how it works. I'll just demonstrate it when you also do the inverse. All you have to do is just Control C, just pop it down here, and then just copy and paste this, and then put it in there. Also make sure you delete it from there as well, of course. Just click OK, play the scenario. And as you'll see, once I enter the zone, it'll say you have returned to the mission area, but if I leave it, it'll say warning, you have 10 seconds, get back. but of course if I just go in and out it'll just stay. Yeah, you get the idea. So, and again, it will work, it will kill me the exact same way. It drops the warthog's on you. It spawns it underneath your feet so you die. So let's take a look at the code now, and I'll basically demonstrate what the code essentially does. Okay, so now we're here. I'm just using Notepad++. Please excuse the downgrade in quality. I've had to resort to another program to record my screen, and I haven't exactly set the resolution right. But as you can see here, it's very simple. All it does is this is for the leaving the zone. This was the leave zone. It just calls this hint, and it basically says, warning, you are leaving the mission zone. You can format text in the game if you did not know that. Just look up a tutorial. There's heaps out there on YouTube. Then it's going to sleep for 10 seconds. So sleep and then the value, which is 10 seconds. And then what it's doing is it's creating the Warthog's GBU-12 bomb, and it's spawning it at the player's feet, and it essentially kills them. Now, this can be intervened if you terminate it by leaving the zone. It will call the cancel zone. You don't have to use this. I just purely like using text editors because it's easier to read for me than the in-game code, as you've probably seen. And you'll see that this, all it's doing is it's just saying you have returned to the mission area. As I said, you don't need this. It's not essential. As long as you do that terminate script code in your deactivation or activation. Other than that, guys, it should all work. I'm not 100% sure if it works in multiplayer because of the variable of player. If it doesn't, please let me know. I'll see if I can source out a way that it actually does work. Otherwise, guys, hope that tutorial has helped you in some way. I'll leave a download to the file and the mission.pbo in the description. Probably chuck it off on Mediafire or something. And yeah, if you got any questions, leave it in the comments below. And other than that, guys, hope this video has helped you. If it has, please remember to drop a like on that video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a good day. This is DavidmyGrylls signing off.
Come on!